Humectants. Humectants are like magnets for water. They grab moisture from the air or from the deeper parts of your skin and pull it into the top layer. Think of them as tiny sponges sitting on your face soaking up water. The most common one is hyaluronic acid. It can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water. One molecule of this stuff can grab 1,000 water molecules. That's why your skin looks so plump after using it. Glycerin is another big one. It's in almost every moisturizer you own. It's cheap, it works, and it doesn't irritate skin. Same job as hyaluronic acid, just not as fancy. Then there's urea. This one actually exists in your skin naturally and grabs water and helps break down dead skin cells. 2 jobs, 1 ingredient. Aloe vera is also a humectant. When you put it on, it draws moisture in. That's why it feels cooling and nice. Here's the catch with humectants. If the air around you is super dry, they might actually pull water out of your skin instead of in. That's why you need to seal them in with something else. Occlusives. Occlusives are the sealers. They sit on top of your skin like plastic wrap and stop water from escaping. They don't add moisture, they just trap whatever's already there. Petroleum or Vaseline is the king of occlusives. It blocks about 99% of water loss. Nothing does it better. It's just petroleum jelly sitting on your skin, not letting anything out. Mineral oil is similar. It's lighter than Vaseline, but does the same thing. Despite what you might hear, it doesn't clog pores for most people. Dimethicone is a silicone. It creates a breathable film on your skin. Not as heavy as Vaseline, but it still locks in moisture pretty well. Beeswax and lanolin are natural occlusives. They're thicker and stickier. Lanolin comes from sheep's wool. Beeswax comes from, well, bees. The important thing, occlusives work best when applied last in your routine. Put them on after everything else to seal it all in. Emollients. Emollients fill in the cracks between your skin cells. Imagine your skin is a brick wall. The cells are bricks. Emollients are the mortar filling the gaps. This makes skin feel smooth and soft. Ceramides are natural emollients that your skin already makes. They're part of your skin barrier. When you add more through skincare, you're just rebuilding what's broken. Squalane is another one. It's similar to your skin's natural oils, so it absorbs fast and doesn't feel greasy. It used to come from shark liver, but now we make it from plants. Fatty alcohols like cetyl alcohol and stearyl alcohol are emollients too. Don't confuse these with regular alcohol. These are creamy and moisturizing, not drying. Shea butter and cocoa butter are thick emollients. They fill gaps and create a light seal, so they're kind of a 2-in-1. Plant oils like jojoba, rosehip, and argan are all emollients. They smooth skin, and some have extra benefits like vitamins. Most good moisturizers have all 3: humectants, occlusives, and emollients. That's the dream team for hydration. Exfoliants, AHAs. Now we get into acids. Don't panic, they're not as scary as they sound. Alpha hydroxy acid, or AHAs, are water-soluble. They work on the surface of your skin. Glycolic acid is the most common. It's tiny, so it penetrates well. It dissolves the glue holding dead skin cells together. Once that glue is gone, the dead cells just fall off. Lactic acid does the same thing, but it's gentler because the molecule is bigger. It also hydrates a bit, good for sensitive skin. Mandelic acid is even bigger and gentler. It takes longer to work, but less irritation. Citric acid is in a lot of products, but it's mainly there for pH balance, not really for exfoliation. AHAs make your skin sensitive to sun. Always wear sunscreen when using them. Exfoliants, BHAs. Beta-hydroxy acids are oil-soluble. That means they can get inside your pores. Salicylic acid is the main one. It's the only BHA you'll really see because it's oil-soluble and it digs deep into oily pores and cleans out the gunk. Perfect for acne. It also reduces inflammation, which is why it's in acne products. It's doing 2 things, cleaning pores and calming redness. BHAs are gentler than AHAs for most people. Less stinging, less redness, but still use sunscreen. Retinoids. Retinoids are vitamin A derivatives. They're probably the most researched anti-aging ingredient in existence. They work by speeding up cell turnover. Your skin makes new cells faster and sheds dead ones quicker. This means fewer wrinkles, less hyperpigmentation, and clearer pores. Retinol is the over-the-counter version. It has to convert into retinic acid in your skin before it works. That takes time, which is why it's gentler. Tretinoin is prescription strength. It's already retinic acid, so it works immediately. Stronger results, more irritation. Adaptoline used to be prescription, but now you can buy it at the store. It's specifically good for acne. Retinol is the middle ground. Converts faster than retinol, but gentler than tretinoin. Start slow with retinoids. Use them once or twice a week at first. Your skin needs time to adjust. And yes, wear sunscreen. You'll hear that a lot in skincare. Antioxidants. Antioxidants fight free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules that damage your skin cells. They come from sun exposure, pollution, smoking, and all that stuff. Vitamin C is the big one. It brightens skin, fades dark spots, and boosts collagen production. The problem is that it's unstable. It breaks down fast when exposed to light and air. That's why it comes in dark bottles. L-ascorbic acid is pure vitamin C, most effective but also most unstable and most irritating. It needs a low pH to work. Vitamin E is another antioxidant. It's better at moisturizing than vitamin C, often paired with vitamin C because they work better together. Niacinamide is vitamin B3. It does a million things: reduces inflammation, minimizes pores, controls oil, fades hyperpigmentation. It's in everything because it plays well with other ingredients. Ferulic acid stabilizes vitamin C and E. That's its main job, makes them last longer and work better. Green tea extract, resveratrol, and coenzyme Q10 are other antioxidants. They do all the same basic things and protect the skin from damage. Peptides. Peptides are short chains of amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins like collagen and elastin. When you put peptides on your skin, they signal your cells to make more collagen. Think of them as text messages telling your skin to repair itself. There are tons of peptides: matrixyl, arginine, copper peptides. They all send slightly different messages, but the goal is the same: more collagen equals firmer skin. Do they work? Research is mixed. They definitely don't work as well as retinoids, but they're gentler. So if your skin can't handle retinoids, peptides are an option. Sunscreen filters. Sunscreen ingredients fall into two categories: chemical and mineral. The chemical filters absorb UV rays and convert them into heat. Think of them like tiny sponges soaking up sunlight. Common ones are avobenzone, oxonexate, and oxybenzone. They feel lighter, and they don't leave a white cast. Mineral fillers sit on top of your skin and physically block UV rays. They reflect light like tiny mirrors. The two mineral filters are zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. They used to be super white and chalky, but newer formulas are better. Both types work. Chemical filters are more elegant, but some people find them irritating. Mineral fillers are gentler, but can feel heavy. You need broad spectrum protection. That means it blocks both UVA and UVB rays. UVB causes burns. UVA causes aging. Block both. Preservatives. Nobody likes preservatives, but they're necessary. Without them, your products would grow mold and bacteria. Parabens are the most common. They've gotten a bad reputation, but decades of research show they're safe in the amounts used in skincare. Phenoxyethanol is a paraben alternative. Does the same job, different molecule. Benzyl alcohol, potassium sorbate, and sodium benzoate are other preservatives. They're all just there to keep your product from becoming a science experiment. Surfactants are cleansing agents. They have one end that loves water and one end that loves oil. This lets them grab dirt and oil and rinse them away. Sodium lauryl sulfate is harsh. It strips everything off your skin. You'll find it in body wash and shampoo, but hopefully not in face wash. Sodium lauryl sulfate is slightly gentler. Still pretty stripping though. Cocamidopropyl betaine and decyl glucoside are mild surfactants. Much better for your face. If your cleanser makes your skin feel squeaky tight, it's too harsh. Your face should feel clean, but not stripped. pH adjusters. Your skin's natural pH is around 5.5, slightly acidic. Products need to be formulated at the right pH to work. Citric acid and lactic acid are used to lower pH, make things more acidic. Sodium hydroxide and triethanolamine raise pH. It makes things more alkaline. These ingredients aren't doing anything for your skin directly. They're just making sure the product sits at the right pH so the active ingredients can work. Humectants versus hydrators. Quick note, hydration and moisture are different. Hydration is water. Humectants hydrate. Moisture is oil. Emollients and occlusives moisturize. You can have dehydrated, oily skin. That means you lack water but produce too much oil. You need humectants, not heavy creams. You can have dry skin. That means you lack oil. You need emollients and occlusives. Most people need both hydration and moisture. That's basically every category of skincare ingredient. Most products are just combinations of these. A basic routine needs 4 things: cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, and maybe an active like retinol or vitamin C. You don't need 12 steps. You just need the right ingredients for your skin type. And remember, ingredients matter more than brand names. A cheap product with good ingredients beats an expensive product with fancy marketing. That's it.